Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start with Metro Exodus. There are 3 games in the series so far, and in every single one of them you play as Artyom, a survivor of nuclear war, who is living in the metro tunnels of post-apocalyptic Moscow. You are not alone who lives here, various creeps are sharing the place with you, and I'm not talking about your friends and comrades, but rather about vicious mutants that could be scarier than Mondays. Yeah, that's if you have a job you hate, and you do, right? Metro is a first-person shooter, so shooting is the thing you will be doing a lot here, and you will find almost zero RPG elements, so if you play Stalker for role-playing bits, I know there's not much there, but still, you won't find that in Metro. Also, Metro Exodus is quite linear, you can make a decision or two, but basically everything is already decided and you just have to play it out. So, a nice no-brainer with a nice story. Also, I must warn you that the game might be scary sometimes, but not as scary as Stalker when you go down the tunnels and meet those invisible bastards. You know what I'm talking about, right? Hunting those things will definitely grow balls on your hair. Yeah, you heard right. In Sound Mind. This is the game that has the least similarities with Stalker on this list, but it has a great menacing atmosphere and a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff in it. Also, it's quite new, so there is a huge chance that you may never heard about it. Also, it has very positive reviews on Steam. This is a survival horror where you will experience a series of haunting memories. You will take on a journey through a progression of unsettling stories, each with unique puzzles, mechanics, weapons, and boss fights. Basically, here you will play as a town therapist and dive into the strange worlds of your patients. The game is a bit scary and plays as a psychological thriller. All the levels are unique and all of them hold a certain ominous atmosphere, so it will keep growing those balls on your hair. The bad thing about this game is that some of the puzzles are really annoying, and because In Sound Mind is quite a new game, it lacks optimization. Sometimes when the boss charges at you, you will experience a huge frame drop and then you will drop dead. That sucks and I wish it didn't. Also, this game is like your penis. Short. Fallout 4. Well, everyone knows everything about Fallout 4, so I will just say that this is an amazing game, and if you have never played it, you are strongly encouraged to try it, or your cat will lose all its hair. In your coffee, every coffee you will ever take will be full of cat's hair, even if you don't have a cat. So that being said, I can provide you with a fun fact instead of talking about the game's features. According to an old urban legend, if you see a mushroom cloud from a nuclear bomb, you should extend your arm and stick your thumb up. If the blast is bigger than your thumb, you are probably within the radiation zone and should try to evacuate immediately. So the Pip-Boy holding his thumb up with his closed left eye isn't trying to say that everything is okay. It might be, but it's probably not. Also, many of you think that at first you will see the light from the blast, and only then blast wave kills you. Well, that might be true, but if you are standing a bit closer to ground zero, keep in mind that the heat from the bomb's blast comes to you as the infrared rays, and the infrared rays travel at the speed of light. So it may very well be that the blast wave, when it finally arrives, just scatters your hot ashes away. Chernobylite. This game came a long way since the early access that never should have happened. Back in the day, they released the game so unfinished that it got mainly bad reviews from various YouTubers and websites. Even I did a review about this game, and that wasn't good review in any way, although I gave 6 vodkas out of 10 back then, so I believed in it unconsciously. Now it's better. It's a solid game, but don't expect realism of Stalker here. It's more like a dream of a drug addict that lives in the exclusion zone, and you're traveling through that dream weird and sometimes really scary. The game is a strange mix of science fiction and supernatural powers. It's non-linear, but as well it's not an open world. You will find different zones you can clear out and then move on the next one in your preferred order. Also, you have a base just like in Fallout 4 that you can upgrade and play home. Generation Zero. The game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is, to be fair, story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. You will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day, Swedes woke up early in the morning to, milk their deer herd, because that's what they do in Sweden, and then, instead of their beloved deers, they saw evil robots everywhere.
Fann de där robotarna, norska kommer att lida för detta.
Post-apocalypse is in the making, and you are the part of it. Alone or with up to 3 friends, you will have to sneak, scavenge, and shoot your way to safety across a vast landscape that it is as intriguing as it is deadly. That is what developers say, but let me cite one of the disappointed players about the same landscape.
The map is large, but there is no variety. Basically as wide as an ocean, but shallow as a puddle.
Well, if it wasn't shallow, it would be a masterpiece. Now it's just an okay post-apocalyptic game for you to try if you manage to snatch it on a sale. 75% of recent reviews are positive, but those 25 of negative ones are still a big number. So be careful, make sure the game is for you, so later you won't need to say,
knulla helvete!
Dying Light. I wanted to ditch all the zombie apocalypse games from this list, but later I decided that, what the hell, I will include one. But which one? There are so many, so I did my research, and the Dying Light was my final choice. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam that makes at least 95 of all users happy with their purchase. And I say purchase because you can't leave a review on Steam if you don't own the game. You will have to survive in a city ravaged by an obviously zombie virus and freely roam the city, basking in its unique atmosphere. You can also use parkour to scale every building and reach remote areas. But the most dramatic shift in the world comes at the sundown, as you change from a hunter to hunted. Be sure your balls are huge, because I think it's a minimum requirement to play this game. Oh yeah, see? Also, some girls have bigger balls than some guys. It's not a gender thing at all. So, next game, Evade the Light. Let me begin with an interesting story about a completely different game of a completely different genre. A long time ago, I was reviewing a hack-and-slash RPG named Malus. And Malus had these little spider thingies, crab-like spider creatures that were really fast and were determined to kill you. So when I was watching the trailer of Evade the Light, I saw this. What is that? Is that some cheap 3D model everyone can buy from the same store? Or this is something, like trolls and goblins, a basic creature everyone knows but me? I expect someone to say in the comments right now,
Hey, it's a common glorble schnorble glorb. It's a creature from German mythology. Every German kid has at least 7 of those at home.
No? Okay, let's talk about the game. This time the story unfolds in rather unusual place, and especially that catched my attention. It's Azerbaijan, in near future, where a paranormal incident has occurred in one of the underpopulated mountain regions of the country. It not only touched, inappropriately, upon all living things in this area, but also messed up with the laws of nature. The government managed to prevent the spread of panic, but did not achieve. In studying the anomaly, all the sent scientists disappeared without a trace. You are the last hope in solving this mystery, but no matter how hard-boiled you are, you shouldn't relax. You never know what is hidden in the Azerbaijan darkness. The game will be released this year at any moment. Any moment now. And we will see if this is a nice game or if it's not. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Stay hairy.